this time, I'm going to step out of the way and give you all about 3 minutes to take some pictures, and then we are going to so graciously ask you to turn your phones off or down and to put your phones away for the rest of the ceremony. So when I exit this way, snap a wave. Thank you all. We've been invited here today to witness and celebrate the uniting in marriage of Miranda and Andy. They are taking the first step of their new beginning, their new life together. The ability and the desire for one human being to love another is perhaps the most precious, fulfilling gift that has been entrusted to us. It is an all-consuming task, a lifelong endeavor, the journey we've been preparing ourselves for our whole life. Loving someone is the reason to stretch beyond our limits, to become more for the sake of the other. It is to look into our soul, to the soul of your beloved, and accept what you see. Love is the ultimate commitment, which challenges humans to become all that we are meant to be. As they join in marriage today, Miranda and Andy are announcing to the world that they are welcoming the challenge. When two souls fall in love, there is nothing else but the yearning to be close to one another. The promise is felt through a hand held, a voice heard, a sight, a smile, even through a simple touch. Souls do not have calendars or clocks, nor do they understand the notion of time or distance. They only know it feels right to be with one another. This is the reason why you miss someone so much when they're not around you. Your soul feels their absence. It misses you. It doesn't realize that separation is only temporary. These were words that were written by Lang Leaf. And it's funny because yesterday Miranda and Andy both sent me their vows, and they both talked about being soulmates back when they met in 2008. So at this time, they would like to share with you guys their vows to each other.
Hello. Can you hear me? Okay. Okay, no, stop holding it right there. Okay. Andy. Andrew. My best friend. My twin flame. My absolute soulmate. Putting into words how I feel about you is nearly impossible, because that spark I felt with you is indescribable. It is that same spark I felt at 17. Walking into my first day at that tuxedo store, just knowing, as if it was already spilled out to me, that I was going to meet you, my husband. Since then, every time you have come into my life, nothing else around me mattered. Every touch, every kiss, every conversation we've had in 14 years feels laminated and so preserved in my mind. Being with you now intensifies everything that makes us, us. I mean, truly, who would have thought that a MySpace message on June 18th, 2008 would have brought us to our wedding day? Andy, you have made me the person I am today. From our teenage years, your wild, carefree spirit taught me it was okay to explore the unknown, to take risks and trust the fall. I've watched you transform from Andy Rude Boy Hal to you, the most hardworking, compassionate, selfless lover, friend, and father to Xander. You are my #1 fan, my biggest supporter, even when I bring home a plant, or 5. You support my wildest dreams and push me to challenge myself. You have done so much for me, and I vow to do the same for you. I vow to always put you and our little family first. Life is going to take us to so many places, with twists and turns, and good times and bad. But you are my home, and I vow to always love you through the storms and darkness. I vow to celebrate with you, to cheer on your success. I promise to embrace every season of change, to hold your hand and take on the world together. I vow to show you my interest in NASCAR, so our Sundays can be more fun, and we can continue to follow certain family traditions as well as create our own. I promise that in our later years to keep your inner childlike spirit alive, to remind you who you are and where you've come from. I vow to love you with my whole heart every day until my last breath. On June 18, 2008, our messages included the whole foundation to what is us now. You asked me if I wanted to start a new life with you. My last vow to you is yes. I vow to honor our love then and now for the rest of our lives. I love you.
Miranda, our love started when I came to get a tuxedo at Barclays in 2008. I told my mom instantly how gorgeous I thought you were, but I was too shy to tell you. I didn't know how I could get a hold of you after that, but we found each other through a friend of a friend, so we dated. And from then on, it was Walmart hangouts, fixing your car, and loving every second we spent together. You asked me to your prom, and I had no hesitations to say yes. We didn't have a care in the world besides being in each other's company. But things change as did us. We parted ways, lived our lives for a while, and by a miracle, we reconnected. You were there for me when I needed someone to talk to, never batted an eye. So we made plans to hang out, and I dropped you on the ground in front of Leafenbein that night. Despite that, I can't describe the feelings that I had come back that day. I knew right then and there I wanted to spend my life with you, then and there. And we hung out a few more times, and I got to meet Xander. The little chunk at the time won my heart instantly, just as you did when I first laid my eyes on you. You were such a caring, loving mother to Xander and I. The amount of love you have to give Xander and I, it makes me the luckiest man in the world. I can always count on you to be there for me, and I vow to you, I will always love you. I will always be right by your side in any time of need. I will always be your best friend. You will always be my favorite weirdo. You are my life, and I cannot wait for you to be my wife. I love you, Miranda.